Today we have Mr. Ashok Bharti, a Dalit thinker, and who is the national convener of Republican Party of India and former national president of NAGDO, National Confederations of Dalit Adivasi Organizations. And we are talking to him about the recent Dalit atrocities cases, Dalit uprising, and social status of marginalized communities. Sir, you are most welcome at India Tomorrow.
Thank you, India Tomorrow.
We would like to know, how do you think about the recent uprising after the Una incident?
Let me tell you that the recent uprising that people are visualizing started from Una is neither recent nor spontaneous. Dalit have been working for long to build a resilient movement which could resist their socio-economic exploitation, their physical oppression. As you know that in last 25 years, more than 674,000 atrocities have been recorded, where more than 7 million Dalits suffered in violence from the upper caste, upper class communities. Very recently, much before the Una, you must have witnessed the event where women and children were burnt in Faridabad. Statement by the central government minister abusing Dalits as dogs, and the second time rape of a Dalit girl victim in Rohtak and government's inaction. So these are all, the result. These are the cause. And Dalits are really worried, and everyone has a limit of tolerating. Our limits of tolerating the intolerable is already over. Therefore, Dalits are up in arms, and there is a massive uprising not only in Gujarat, it is everywhere, every nook of corner of India. Well, that as soon as this Una incidents took place, we had a meeting with the Gujarat colleagues in Delhi. And 3 leaders of Una movement had a discussion with the National Confederation of Dalit Adivasi Organization in Delhi, and we decided, let us show the strength. So therefore, this rally, because if you remember that about 3 years ago, there was murder of the Dalit youth by the police in Surendranagar district of Gujarat. Even at that time, there was a massive congregation protesting the murder of Dalits. Therefore, this particular incident has drawn everyone born among the Dalits and the well-meaning people to the street, and I don't see any political party behind, though I know that few people are trying to take credit of it, but the credit goes to the grassroots Dalit leadership that has developed over last 25 years, and especially after the formation of the National Confederation of Dalit Adivasi Organizations in India. I think one political change has already taken place. The Chief Minister of Gujarat is gone. Wait for the next. The elections are around the corner, and Dalit will certainly show the door to many of the politicians and political leaders in this country. We never believed that the only political change can change the circumstances of Dalits and other marginalized sections such as minorities in this country. We believe Dalits and the marginalized have to work beyond politics. They have to work a social unification process. They have to work social conscientization process. They have to engage with their adversaries. They have to work in the field of economy. They have to build their economy. So I don't think that the only politics is the solution or will solve the problem of Dalits or other minorities. Well, you know that when India got freedom, we visualize a fair space in the polity, in the economy, in the society. And we did not opt only the fair space, we also thought that after the 100 and 1,000 year of oppression by the upper caste and upper class, we will get a fair hearing in the court, law, government, and even the institutions that have been built over a period of time. We also thought that under the spirit of the freedom movement, people will give equal dignity to everyone. Unfortunately, it did not happen. Therefore, we believe that our aspirations are being not fulfilled by the present dispensation, and we believe that Dalits need to work in this direction. We build their own institutions, engage with other communities. Government policies need to be really thoroughly investigated, thoroughly reviewed, and they need to be reviewed where Dalits are part of review mechanism. Without us, nothing can help us. Well, you know that I always says that Dalits are the success story of India. But unfortunately, the people who helped to make them success do not own this story, and they don't want to own this story because it challenges their mindset, it challenges their Hindu mentality, it challenges their concept of superiority, and of course it really undermines their sense of superiority. I guess I must very clearly mention that if political parties won't create vote bank, then who will make? So I really don't subscribe to the idea that the political party should not vote bank, should not create their vote bank. They should. And unless they create a vote bank, why should they bother about the Dalits? Why should they bother about the Muslims? Why should they bother about their other people? And I guess that whatever has happened, it has happened because the political party understand that Dalits and minorities could be their major supporter as vote bank. Therefore, they should commit, they should do, and they should fulfill the aspiration of these communities. If you look at the cow vigilante are primarily instigated by the upper caste, upper class, Baniya Brahminical politics. All these cow vigilante group, they understand, or the people behind them, the Baniyas and the Brahminical mindset people, they understand that the animal meat business and the leather business is a huge business and has a huge potential of a big economical gain. Therefore, they want to push away the Muslims and Dalits specifically from these two business opportunities. And it is impacting Dalits very badly. Therefore, Dalits need to join with the Muslims. Beef has been our staple food in many part of the country, and therefore the cow vigilante are challenging our food habits, are challenging our livelihood, and we will not tolerate this. Well, I guess that all the people who suppressed and who inflict atrocity on Dalits may not be necessarily of the RSS people, but they provided ideological backing to that as the profound Brahminical Baniya institution. So therefore, we see a relationship between them, though I am of the opinion it is not only RSS which is responsible, there are many more people behind these atrocities. Well, you know that National Confederation of Dalit Adivasi Organization, first and foremost role of the NAGDOR is to broaden the horizon of Dalit action. So basically diverting them from very narrow perspective and broaden their perspective in the light of Dr. Ambedkar's teachings and philosophy. The other role of the NAGDOR is to engage the adversaries, to engage with the similar viewpoint organizations, platform, negotiate with the government, negotiate with the private sector, negotiate and engage with anyone and everyone who affects the Dalit and Adivasi's life. Well, you know, the Republican Party of India was founded by none less than Baba Saheb Dr. Ambedkar in 1956. And somehow, because of the lack of leadership and lack of vision, it, you know, dissipated into the history and remained located only in Maharashtra. First time as a national convener of the Republican Party of India, I am trying to see that the Republican Party of India follows Dr. Ambedkar principle, which says we need an India as enlightened India, not a Hindu India, not a Muslim India, not a Dalit India, but as a enlightened India. And therefore, we believe not only politics. We are not there to only contest election once in a 5 year as many Dalit political parties do. They focus only on elections. We are not going, as a Republican Party of India, we are not going to focus only on election. We will be a fighting force of Dalits, Adivasis, minorities, and every marginalized section, even if they are born among the Brahmin community.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashok Bharti, for talking with India Tomorrow.
Thank you very much.